Okay, we are at the entrance of Grand Bazaar of Tabriz.
Exactly.
Okay, how old is this bazaar?
Well, Tabriz Grand Bazaar or Tabriz Souk, which is the World Heritage, as I told you, that was registered on the UNESCO in 2010. And with the name of the longest roofed bazaar in the world. And totally Tabriz Grand Bazaar is something around 8 square kilometer totally.
Wow.
But the covered section or roofed section is something about 1.5 square kilometer, which we are going around the covered section mainly. Tabriz Grand Bazaar, the age of Tabriz Grand Bazaar, back to something around the age of the Silk Road. I mean, something around 1,500 years ago.
Wow.
When we started to have a Silk Road, this Grand Bazaar also started to be developed and also to be so big. Why Tabriz Bazaar is very big? Because for the merchants, while being on the Silk Road, the first city after Turkey, because they arrived to Iran from Turkey, after Turkey, in Iran, the first big city was Tabriz. And this was the best location for them to do the exchange, to do the business. Tabriz Bazaar also, as I told you, it has different sections, look like other bazaars in Iran. For example, now we are entering to the fruit section. And from the fruit section, we will go to the carpet section as well. While we are walking, I will talk about that. And as I told you, it's the longest roofed bazaar in the world. And that is the best location for the merchants to do the shopping, to change the products as well, and also earn very good money with that.
Yeah. And why is it roofed? Sorry. Why is it roofed?
The main reason is because of the temperature here. Because Tabriz, generally during the year, it has 6 or 7 months with the cold temperature. That's why they started to have a covered section rather than being open. Now, as you feel, inside is quite warm enough. And also, I need to tell you, it was said that something around near to 19,000 shops we have inside the Grand Bazaar.
19.
Yes, 19,000 shops in the bazaar, which is a big number. And most of the shopkeepers are not just from Tabriz, from some cities close by or villages close by. We have some people which they have shops here, and every day they are coming here, doing their business, and go home in the afternoon. Tabriz Grand Bazaar also, it has a special time to work. They start to work quite late, about 10:30 in the morning, and close about 2 or 3 o'clock in the evening. They work very short. But in this short time, they have a good business actually. Now we are entering to the carpets. Well, now we will enter to the main part of the carpet zone, which we call the Mozaffarieh section. This one in our left hand.
Wow.
As you see, that's the best part of the
Beautiful ceiling.
Grand Bazaar, yes. Why we call here Mozaffarieh? First, I want to tell about that because this section added to the bazaar, Tabriz Grand Bazaar, 120 years ago, in the time of the Muzaffar ad-Din Shah, the Qajar king.
Yeah.
When they Muzaffar ad-Din Shah heard about this section in the Tabriz, because they were originally from Tabriz, those people, he came to Tabriz and he started to visit here. After his visit, to appreciate him, they put the name of here, Mozaffarieh section or Timche. And well, Tabriz is famous for its carpets as well in the world.
Yeah.
Iranian carpets are very famous, but Tabriz itself is differently famous, I can say. That's totally different because we have different patterns in Tabriz. As you see on the floor, these are different variety with a different percentage of silk and also number of knots, which they are totally different in Tabriz. And type of knots. As you know, we have a Turkish and Persian knots. Tabriz patterns, normally they have a Turkish knots, which is, some people says is better because it's quite stronger. Normally, the most popular carpet in Tabriz is about 40 to 50 raj, and it has something about 30 to 40% of silk. Normally,
Sorry.
this is a typical type of Tabriz pattern.
Yeah, actually by raj you mean the density.
Yeah, raj means the number of knots in a square centimeter. Which, as I told you, the luxury type of carpet, it has about 40 or 50 number of raj. Pattern will be similar to those, more or less, because patterns, they have different names. But the number of knots and the percentage of the silk is the most important thing that I told you. This is a typical type of Tabriz pattern. Here we have a traditional part for the tea. And in the bazaar, we have tea stops like that, as you see, which people stops for a rest and refreshing. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And these are
clean,
clean.
exactly, clean. But we will see them more. We will see them in different parts because different section has a different purposes. As I told you, this was a mainly floor carpets. We will go to the kilim section as well. Algolunu aramaz. Allah yormaz. In the Grand Bazaar of Tabriz, and now here we are entering to the spice section. As I told you, different parts in the Grand Bazaar has a different sections, and this is for the spices. Also, spices in Tabriz is very famous because we have different variety of the herbs, different variety of the dried fruits or different teas that we make. For example, quince, dried quince, we use to make a tea, which is very good for the health. We have different type of herbs, look like this one. We call that's a local thyme, for example. And that's Tabriz also is famous for these type of spices, as you see. It's quite colorful and very interesting area.
And are these all planted in Tabriz?
Not really, because some of them are for Tabriz, as I told you, quince or local thyme or some different herbs that they dried, as you see. They are locally for here, but not all of them. Some of them are coming from different cities and different areas.
Interesting.
Well, let me continue.